The Vision High School Sports Beat is brought to you by the 11 locally owned Vision Automotive Group dealerships, offering Buick GMC, Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Hyundai, Kia, and Nissan, and the resale division, with locations in Webster, Henrietta, Penfield, Fairport, Canandaigua, Ontario, and Palmyra, and online at visionauto.com. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us for the start of the 7th season of the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Each week at this time, we'll take a comprehensive look at sports in Section 5 in Monroe County and begin with our honor roll of high school teams. At number 3 this week, Aranda White girls volleyball opened up with a straight set win over rebuilding but defending state champion Penfield. Joshua Luke, 14 kills for the Eagles. Number 2, Brockport boys soccer is out of the gate fast with 3 wins over Victor Rondequoit Brighton. Zach Warham had 4 goals with 3 assists in those games. And at number 1, our defending state girls soccer champions from Spencerport dominant in their first 2 games, 2-0 and outscoring opponents 9-0. Leah Wengender has 5 of those goals. It brings us to Greece Athena High School, home of the defending Class A Section 5 football champions.
Your momentum. See the ball, Shane. You're right here. Stop. Because you fast, but just turn and run with it.
Isn't it really fair to call it a losing streak? Because Greece Athena football has been a top-flight program for a number of years now. But the fact remains that until last fall, the Trojans hadn't won a Section 5 championship in 35 years.
We had a great run last year, and I think they hopefully learned from those players and the kind of effort that they put forth every day in practice, and they're going to try to emulate that.
Yeah, are those the kind of dividends that winning last year could pay now?
Yeah, I think so. And it gives you the kids can see, hey, we can do it. A school from Greece went all the way to state championship. It can be done. So you never know. First thing you got to do though is you got to qualify for sectionals, and then you got to advance through sectionals, and you see what happens.
Repeating brings its own set of issues, but these are not what Athena is dealing with right now. More significant is that 21 of last year's 22 starters, including Player of the Year Tavon Granison, graduated.
We lost a lot of seniors, but we got a lot of guys coming back too. So the guys last year helped us how to lead that role, how to get back to where we were.
And this is my 23rd year, and I've never had this many empty spaces to fill. So this is a first for us. But you know what? We have the one returning starter is changing positions, but he's a great leader, and he's going to be our quarterback. And we have some capable athletes around him. And like I said, the critical piece is we have to get better in practice every day. So they got to come out, and they got to give a good effort.
Quarterback Patrick Meisenthal is a converted end, although he took some significant snaps last year behind Granison.
Yeah, I don't feel any pressure. I just want to do my best, just help get the guys ready for every game, in practice. Just get them working hard, try to be a leader like that.
How's it different for you being a senior this year?
It's awesome, finally being in a leadership role, helping the younger guys because I've been here before, so it's nice.
The culture at Athena helps. Sports is big here, right across the board. The football team, state finalists. The soccer team won a state title the year before. The basketball program is legendarily good. Most of the teams, boys and girls, right across the board, hold their own. And many of the athletes double dip. Meisenthal is also a basketball player, as is wide receiver Nigel Scantleberry, who this winter has the chance to be a star. Being an athlete at Greece Athena these days, right across the board, all the teams are good. Right. That's something special, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty special because, we have a great coaching staff in every single sport, and they really care about the kids, and they're really honest about being good in the class and being good as well on the field and off the field.
It makes you feel good being an athlete at the school?
Yeah, we carry a high hat because, all the kids look up to all the athletes. They just want to be just like us, so they work hard just as well as we work hard. We got to set the example for them.
Those graduation numbers and the quality of the players being replaced tell you that the chances for the Trojans to find themselves on top again this year are slight. The secret to dealing with that
don't worry about last season. We're a different team this year, and we just got to remember what the seniors told us last year and just work hard every day and get better at the things that we need to get better at.
Cool. That said, what did the championship mean to you last year?
It really meant a lot to us because I saw, like, Coach, he never had that before, and I saw, like, that great emotion on his face after he won, and when they stormed the field, just a really good feeling. It made us want to do it again this year.
Come on, strong tomorrow. Let's go. Water pro. Shoulder pride on 3.
Oh! 1, 2, 3, shoulder pride.
Them hikes pads?
The Trojans began defense of that championship with a 28-8 win over UPrep. Coming up next, 13 Wham Sports Director Mike Catalana joins me with the Dunkin' Donuts High School Notebook, and Kim Burnson has our Wegmans Making the Grade segment when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Dunkin' has lots of fall favorites to root for. Maple pecan, pumpkin, maple sugar bacon. But on game day, we root for one team. One team, baby. Win the fall, folks.
Welcome back to the Vision High School Sports Beat. It's time now for our Dunkin' Donuts High School Notebook. Pleased to be joined by Mike Catalana, Wham Sports Director.
Yeah.
You know, during this offseason, we lost 3 high-profile basketball players to prep schools.
Yeah.
The issue of the soccer academies is going now, girls and boys. We're losing some of our most high-profile kids here.
Yeah, I guess we could look at it 2 different ways. It's happened in other sports for years. I was looking back at some of the hockey players, some of our greats, who played limited to no high school hockey here, right? Even Brian Gianta, his brother Steven, Ryan Callahan. It's assumed in hockey that these guys leave. And in basketball, when you got a Thomas Bryant, John Wallace stayed at Athena, Syracuse, NBA, but Thomas Bryant left, and he ended up going to a prep school, and he's in the NBA now. So, 1, you can see there's a history of it, and 2, when you have that level of a player, and the guys in the NBA, you can see where players would look to do it.
Are we allowed to think selfishly about this, though? Because of the Wallace team especially. We hold that team up. If we didn't have John, we wouldn't have that team.
100%. I think we can look at it that way because we, as people who cover it, and you as fans watching it, you feel a little cheated when we don't get to see these kids play at whether it's Greece Athena, Aquinas, Kearney, wherever it happens to be. But to me, it's almost like in college sports where when a guy declares for the pros, right, you say, why would this guy leave Syracuse to go to the NBA? Tyler Ennis, whoever it is. Yeah, you wonder what the kid's future is, but you want to see him play for your school. I think we have a right to feel that way, but these kids are thinking about their future. And when it works out well for them, it's hard to argue with.
Bryant might well have wound up in the NBA anyway if he spent all the time at Bishop Kearney. But is it clear cut to you that this is a benefit to them?
Oh, I think it could depend on the kid. And I think there are really big benefits if you have a good high school program and a good high school environment. Isaiah Stewart's at McQuaid, great school. Seems like he had the right people around him and all. But I think he'll do well as he goes forward. It doesn't mean it's an either or. But I think to your point of, should we feel a little selfishly like we're going? I missed watching those kids play. I missed watching Thomas Bryant in his last years of high school. But we never really got to see Brian Gianta 4 years at Aquinas either. But I think there's a right to feel that way. But there is no guarantee that it helps them. We just wish the best for the kids.
It was a thrill. Dave Ferentz comes back he plays his last year at high school, and it was like watching Bobby Orr out there. It was just so great to see.
He was the best player in Section 5, and now we wish him well going forward in the pros.
Mike, thank you very much.
Yep.
Mike Catalana on the Dunkin' Donuts High School Notebook. Coming up, we salute our Wegmans Making the Grade nominee with Kim, and later, the Clares of Fairport Soccer. When the Vision High School Sports Beat continues.
Welcome back, and thanks for joining the High School Sports Beat. I'm Kim Burnson. It's time now for Making the Grade, brought to you by Wegmans. Wegmans is a proud supporter of Making the Grade, which highlights the accomplishments of Section 5 student athletes on and off the playing field.
Making the grade this week is Ben Bulkeely. Ben was an all-Greater Rochester selection for boys indoor and outdoor track and field in 2016. He was named Runner of the Year by the DNC as a first-team AGR honoree. He also runs cross-country in the fall. He's become a leader among a Section 5 champion track team and runs multiple races for the Red Raiders. Ben holds the fastest 1,000-meter time and set a Section 5 record in the 800 as well. He earned another first-place victory as a state champion with the Fairport relay team as the 3,200 relay anchor. Besides what he does on the track, Ben is also a member of the National Honor Society and Spanish National Honor Society. He's an outstanding student as he holds a 94 average in school. Ben is also an active member of his community with his work through the Boy Scouts. For his exceptional work on the track and in the classroom, this week Ben Bulkili is making the grade.
If you have a student in mind for our Making the Grade segment, we want your nominations. You can send them in to info@classywolf.com. Now here's Bill with the Section 5 calendar.
Here's our Section 5 calendar for the week ahead. Girls soccer on Monday, Greece Athena is at mighty Fairport. That's 4:30. On Friday, Athena comes home from that one to face Pittsford Sutherland at 4:30. And then a big one under the lights at Spencerport on Saturday with Webster Schrader playing the Rangers at 5. In boys soccer, Spencerport plays Churchville Chili at 4:30. Also on Tuesday on the west side, Brockport is Greece Athena in a battle of early season unbeatens. That also at 4:30. Then on Saturday morning, Fairport plays at Athena. That's at 11. Girls volleyball, Mercy is at Webster Schrader Monday 6:30. Penfield at Fairport Tuesday at 6. And on Wednesday, Schrader finds itself at Irondequoit for a 7:45 start. Boys volleyball, it's Penfield at Victor. That's Wednesday at 6, and that brings us to our Week 3 football schedule. Among the best Friday night lights offer Brockport at Spencerport at 7, Hilton and Webster Schrader also at 7. And then on Saturday, two city schools which opened with wins in the Monroe County League square off. Leadership Academy plays Wilson at Franklin at 1. That's the best of the Section 5 calendar for the week ahead. Here are the Vision High School Sports Beat Top 5 High School Football Plays of the Week, brought to you in cooperation with Varsity Media. For the best local coverage in Section 5 sports, visit varsitymedia.net. Our top 5. At number 5, we have Irondequoit playing Eastridge. Freddie June is the quarterback to Quinn Simonson. 47 yards for a touchdown. June threw for 3 passes, ran for another for touchdowns in a 40-21 Eagles victory. To number 4, Batavia playing Johnson City. This is Ray Leach finding the end and getting loose for what amounts to a 95-yard touchdown run. Leach had 19 carries, 256 yards, scored twice in a final of Batavia 37 and Johnson City nothing. At number 3, McQuaid is at Rush Henrietta. Ironically, in a game that McQuaid's Hunter Walsh passed for 4 touchdown passes, it was the Comets who had the most spectacular of them. This is Zachary Bucci passing to Adrian Schmidt. Play goes for 70 yards and a touchdown. Rush Henrietta's only final score in that game was McQuaid 42 and Rush Henrietta 7. And number 2 in our top 5, this is Brighton playing East Syracuse Manoa, and it's our defensive play of the week as Joey Valenti gets the pressure. Will Brownell with a pick 6. Brighton wins this game 37-13. And number 1 comes from Hilton versus Horseheads. This is Hilton's Max Chamberlain, a name to know. 59 yards on his way to a 346-yard rushing day and 6 touchdowns, a school record. Hilton the winner 48-30, our Vision High School Sports Beat Play of the Week. Coming up, the Clares try to alter the end-of-the-year girls soccer fortunes at Fairport when the Vision High School Sports Beat continues. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. This is the Vision High School Sports Beat. I'm Bill Pucko. Here's our honor roll of high school athletes. At number 3 this week, CJ Takich of the Greece Athena boys soccer team. Winners of their first 3 games. Takich is the go-to guy. He has 5 goals and 2 assists so far. Number 2, Chris Verone, the power in the Victor football team's rushing attack. Verone ran for 219 yards on 32 carries. The Blue Devils opened up with a tight win at Aquinas. And at number 1, Hunter Walsh of McQuaid. The quarterback of an apparent pass-happy offense at McQuaid, Walsh threw for 342 yards and 4 touchdowns in a one-sided victory over Rush Henrietta. The Knights will be fun to watch this year. Claire Mulholland has stopped 18 of the first 20 shots she faced. Claire Myers has 8 goals in those 4 games, all of them wins. Together, the Claires are attempting to help enact a new ending to the Fairport girls soccer season. Achievement doesn't always bring fulfillment. No one knows that better than the Fairport girls soccer team, which for the last 6 years has seen achievement result in heartbreak. This has to become personal for head coach Tom Natale, who arrived at the start of the streak and has seen his team lose in the sectional semifinals or finals in each of those 6 years. Last year, Penfield got them in the semis.
We only trailed 5 minutes and 5 seconds the whole season last year. And at the banquet we talked about, that's great and that's awesome, but we just didn't get a couple goals. So we played great, we played dominating soccer, we did a lot of good things, but we still didn't get to that goal. So why is it? Let's embrace it, let's learn from the past, let's cancel the emotion of it, and then bring forward the lessons and then hopefully apply them so we have a better emotional result at the end of this year.
Natale's recipe for stopping the streak: own it.
I mean, we reviewed all the tapes over the last 2 years of those games. I would say that we played very well in those games, dominated those games, generated more scoring opportunities, but we ended up walking off the field and going home. And so we tried to break that down into what are the things, what are the elements, and we broke it down to the add up of little mistakes that add up to a costly mistake.
Perhaps the Claires can help. Both are seniors, both the 4-year starters. Claire Myers has been the Monroe County Division I scoring leader in each of her previous 3.
Yeah. You have to, take it head on, take it for what it is, and regroup and tackle, the whole challenge all over again.
As a senior now, I think some more of that being able to get over it kind of falls to you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Now it's the seniors' jobs to lift everyone up and get everyone back and going again. So, it's our job to make sure everyone's motivated and ready to go.
Myers is headed to Brown University, Ivy League, pre-med. Nice. Claire Mulholland, meanwhile, is the keeper, the last line of defense here. There's something fitting about that as she prepares for a life at the Air Force Academy.
It's a really good education. Not that you're not going to get that anywhere else, but it's going to be a really good education while I'm playing soccer. But there's a strict schedule. You leave right after graduation. You're going to go for 6 weeks of military training with no phone, so that's going to be different. Then you go right into preseason, no break. Then you do military training throughout the year. You don't come home till Christmas or Thanksgiving. You only get a week off. You have to get up at a certain time. You have to go to bed at a certain time. You have to be in class on time or you get in trouble. So it's really strict, but I'm really excited for it.
Does being a frontline athlete, you think, and the discipline that goes along with that help you prepare for that life?
Yes, I've definitely heard that, especially during BCT, which is cadet basic training, that the athletes do survive much better than the other kids do because they are used to the discipline.
Trying to cap their careers with the fulfillment option this year, the girls don't hide from their legacy. They embrace it and the lessons it brings.
If we're on a play and a girl scores and she should have scored with her left foot instead of her right foot, we talk about that. Yep, we'll take the goal, but you took an extra touch, and when we get against really hot competition, maybe that's not going to be there. So we got to be able to capitalize, with the proper technique the first time.
This year, I think we just need to fix things that we didn't fix last year, with like little holes, gaps, stuff like that, and I think we'll be fine.
Is it tough to restart after a year like that? I mean, they get back together and say, all right, we're back to square one.
I think it is a little tough, but I think we can do it. I mean, whenever you restart, you always have to reevaluate what you did wrong and go forward from there.
Come on, Victor next week is on grass. We got to be ready.
Guys, it's so good. I do, yeah.
We would like to thank our sponsors, especially the 11 dealerships of the Vision Automotive Group. They make the Sports Beat possible, as do you. Thanks for watching the start of our 7th season of this program, and we'll see you again next week.